Jessica with Guns and Lace here, and I'm super excited to be talking with Anette Wachter, 30 Cal gal herself, for an exclusive interview to share with you Guns and Lace fans. Annette, I understand someone very special taught you to shoot.
Yeah, you could say that. My husband, Charles, he introduced me to high power competition about 8 years ago.
Wonderful. And tell us about your first trip to the range.
Well, I would say my most memorable trip was like I said, you introduced me to shooting. You put the AR in my hand and showed me a couple basic things, and then we went straight to a match. And the very first match we ever went to, that he brought me to, was the Washington State High Power Championship. So there was probably 100 people there. I was one of only 2 women, and I did not really understand the proper attire to be worn, and I wore shorts that day, and I borrowed, well, and it was a rare, warm Seattle day, as we really had, and I had to borrow a shooting jacket from another friend, and we wear these big leather heavy jackets, and when I got up into the position of offhand, where you're shooting standing, I couldn't figure out why there was a crowd gathering around behind me. I kind of sensed something was happening. Turns out that my jacket just barely reached to the bottom of my shorts, so it looked like I was wearing nothing underneath it except my boots. And so, yeah, that was, I still get razzed about that to this day.
Well, there are many that suggest leaving the men at home. Maybe that would be why, but when it comes to learning to shoot, what do you recommend?
Learning to shoot. I'm a big fan of going and paying for professional, whether it's a private lesson or a class. Sometimes it can be difficult, as we all know, to be taught by our significant other, man or woman, and just too many emotions get involved, get impatient, and it's just so much better to go through a third-party professional who can give you just the instruction you need without any emotion tied to it.
Definitely. It's a good way to save your marriage, hire an instructor.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, going to the range with your husband to being a member of the U.S. National Rifle Team is quite a leap. What inspired you to pursue competition shooting?
Well, I didn't know any better. He was competing himself and said that asked if I wanted to join him. And at first I wasn't too interested, but then I realized if I didn't, I'd be the golfer's widow, pretty much, because it takes a lot of time to do that sport. So I gave it a try. I offered him 1 year of my life, and I would commit to it, and I loved it. And so from there, I was asked by another competitor to try the long-range shooting, and I excelled at that really quickly, and I had heard about the U.S. team at that time, and that was my mission, to get accepted to the team.
What did you enjoy the most about distance shooting and following that?
It's a unique niche, and there's a lot of technical skill involved. It's not just pulling the trigger, the target and pulling the trigger. You have to read the wind. You have to understand all aspects of that, and a lot of the ballistics. I mean, you have to know what caliber, understand your caliber, and then how the wind affects it. So it's a big challenge, but I love it.
Well, let me embarrass you for a moment and tell our Guns and Lace fans your amazing accomplishment. In 2011, you were the second woman and first American woman ever to win the BC Rifle Championship in 127 years. You hold the NRA 300-yard civilian national record, 3 national records, 3 national team championships, 24 international trophies, and the list just goes on and on. What is the most treasured memory out of all of those experiences?
I definitely go to the British Columbia Championship, being the first American woman to ever win that. It was an incredible feeling. The first year that I did that match, when the first woman, she was a British woman, but the British team came over to Canada that year, and her name is Boone, and she won the entire match and won that championship. So she was the first woman ever. And I came in third behind her, and that was my first time ever doing it. I was so excited. And when I looked at her, the winner of this match gets carried in a sedan chair by her teammates back to the
wow.
It's pretty cool. It's a Commonwealth tradition to do that. And I just said, I'm getting that chair. That's all there is to it. Next year, that is mine. And I did it. You know, I couldn't believe it. It was such an incredible thing. I will cherish that memory forever.
Wow. Well, maybe if your long distance shooting skills weren't enough, tell our Guns N' Life fans what you are now branching out into.
Yeah, so the last couple of years, I've been shooting 3 guns, which is exactly like it sounds. So we have a pistol, shotgun, and a rifle. And this is a little bit more action-packed shooting. This is an obstacle course that you're kind of making your way through. Not only do you have to hit your targets accurately, but you need to try to do it in the quickest amount of time. So you're shooting at paper and steel targets, moving targets. You're shooting under and over and through things. It's really a lot of fun. And then the other one, which actually we're heading out to the match this weekend, it's the precision rifle. Almost, picture like a sniper challenge. You have a big giant backpack on, put your rifle in there with all your ammo and all your food and water and gear for the day, and you hike out into the mountains wherever they have the stages set up. And again, these are timed stages, and they're steel targets all at long range, so anywhere from 200 out to even 1,700 yards. And again, you have certain obstacles you might need to shoot around or through or under, and it's really a lot of fun.
It sounds like a perfect reality TV show.
Yes, it does. In fact, you mentioned that I'm kind of talking with some producers on together or something like that.
Great minds think alike.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, now, Annette, I understand that you write as well. Where can fans go to learn more about you and read your articles?
I, of course, have my own blog at 30calgal.com. And I write a regular column and blog monthly in Gun Up magazine. And write for wideopenSpaces.com, Shooting Sports USA once in a while. I'm working on a project right now with Recoil magazine as well, which I'm very excited to do that. So it's just a little bit everywhere.
It sounds like it. And as if you have time to do anything else, but what are some of your other interests?
I love to cook when I get a chance. Part of a couple gourmet clubs that I have with some girlfriends, which is just an opportunity to relax and drink and eat. I originally was a big tennis player before I started shooting, but that's sort of fallen by the wayside. And, of course, on the side, I had a business on the side, too. I design jewelry. And in that line, I have a line of bullet jewelry, I guess you would call it, called Bling Bang. So I have a lot of extra brass laying around, and so I had to do something with it, so I got creative.
Exactly. And they can find that jewelry at 30calgal.com?
Yes, they can.
Excellent. So, Annette, you're truly an inspiration in the shooting world. In fact, you're one of my heroines. If you could choose to be any female comic book character, who would you be?
Oh, okay. Well, of course, Superwoman comes into mind, and then a little bit of Laura Croft. Superwoman was not really gun friendly. Laura Croft definitely so. A little bit of a badass with a feminine side to her. So
I like it. Definitely can't go wrong with some sass and class.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Annette, for taking the time to interview with me and share your love of shooting with Guns N' Life fans. I can't wait to go shooting with you again, and who knows, maybe you'll even get to play matchmaker out at the next three-gun competition.
Yeah, definitely. I look forward to that, Jessica. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. This has been Jessica with Guns N' Life with Anette Wachter. For more information, check her out at 30calgal.com, or for more reviews and interviews, visit gunsandlife.com. Good luck with your match this weekend, Annette.
Thank you.